Hi, I'm Tammy Beilstein. Welcome to Tammy's Window on Calaveras. I have with me tonight two guests. One is Hjelmervik, and the other is Sabrina Bennett. They are going to talk with us about Calaveras Has Talent. I've seen this all over my Facebook page, just so you know, whoever's doing your Facebook work is doing a great job. And the signs are all over the county. It's such a popular show that you guys put on. And I want to talk with him about the purpose for the show, how you guys put it all together, why you do it, how you do it, all of that. Okay? Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
So Neil, do you want to tell us why you guys are doing this show? It's such a big ordeal.
It is, and it's worth every minute of it. We have a real reason that started with music almost being cut from Calaveras Unified Schools, and that's where our organization has its beginning. From there, after we saved music from being cut, then we decided, what are we going to do now? And we decided to change our venue, and we now are focused on supporting and encouraging music education for all the kids in Calaveras County schools.
Okay. In the beginning, was it just for Calaveras High School, and now it's every high schools, elementary schools, middle schools?
Yes.
Awesome. That is so great. Are you guys totally out of danger of the music programs going away?
At this point, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, good. Good. To me, that seemed like craziness that it was even an issue in the beginning. I remember having Cliff Edson on when this first was taking place. It blew me away. That just,
Sometimes
makes no sense.
dollars and budgets get in the way of what's best for the kids.
Right.
So.
How neat that you guys are continuing this, though, because it had to be a whole heck of a lot of work. Now, what are your do you have two different positions? Sabrina, do you do something?
I've been doing a lot of volunteer work and volunteer time, but I've been helping manage with Mr. Hjelmervik and with other alumni from our school. It's been also helping out as well. Okay. So we've been keeping it, trying to keep it organized, keep it from looking at like a circus and more of a talent show than anything else. And it's been going really, really well.
That's
awesome. This is second year, and it's actually, I think it's even better this year.
Really?
Yeah. So
we have better venues this year. We started off last year and did what we could where we could.
Yeah.
And now we have the brand new Calaveras Performing Arts Center and the wonderful Bret Hart Theater, and we go back and forth between them.
And the Calaveras Performing Arts Center is on the Calaveras High School campus.
Correct.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, it's
I need to come over there.
Come not this Saturday, but next Saturday to the semifinal.
Yeah. What is the date? This Saturday?
We have one coming up on the 13th, and then the 20th, and then the final on the 24th.
Okay.
The 13th is going to be at the Bret Hart Theater. That's our second quarterfinal for Calaveras Has Talent. And the reason we're doing Calaveras Has Talent is because we needed to have a way to fund our mission of supporting music in the schools.
Okay.
And through Calaveras Has Talent, the admissions to the shows and sponsorships and donations, we were able last year to give away almost $7,000 in materials, instruments, repairs, supplies for students in both the Bret Hart area and the Calaveras area.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
how much is it to go see a show?
The quarterfinals and the semifinals are
$5.
$5.
Okay, for adults and children.
Everyone.
Okay.
And the grand finale is $10 because that's where it's the most exciting.
Yeah, that's
there may be a break for families, but I don't have those details.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I had a mind blank. How do you decide which students get the help? If you end up with $7,000 and you need to buy all these different instruments and music, do the students apply to be someone who
Students
receives
don't
it?
apply at all.
Okay.
We support the music teachers.
Okay.
The music teacher says, hey, this tuba is not playable anymore.
All right.
Last year we bought a new tuba.
Okay.
Or they say we need some reeds and valve oil and supplies like that for our students. They can't afford to buy their own reeds and such.
Right.
We supply.
Right.
And it's to the best of our financial ability to support. Or these instruments, they need to be repaired. They don't play. They look pretty, but they don't play. And so getting them repaired.
Okay.
It's what the teachers see as the basic need to best teach the children.
Yeah. And is it 50-50 between the I'm not 50-50, separated equally between the schools, or it is generally by what they tell you
It's
that
by
they need?
what they need, what they ask for.
What they ask for.
And what we can afford.
Yeah,
So I haven't really looked at that. I imagine it is not quite 50-50 at this point. We have more teachers in Calaveras Unified, so there's more requests.
Okay. That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that absolutely
But we're
makes
hoping
sense.
to encourage opportunities for music education on the other side of the county, on the Bret Hart side.
Okay. Oh, that's great. That's great. How do you two know each other?
I was
so he brought you along into this.
I graduated in 1990 from Calaveras High School. I did all 4 of my music, 4 years in music, in all 4 years. I don't know if I did it because I was bored or I did it because I just love music. And I really, I just loved all kinds of music.
She was my drum captain.
Yeah.
Really?
I came in as a flautist. I played the flute with Jane Hess in West Point Elementary. And he took one look at me and he said, "No, we're going to put you up here, and we're going to try the xylophone." And the first year I did the xylophone, and then the second year I did the snare drum, and then I taught myself how to do other instruments, and it basically it mostly kept me out of trouble for one, but basically music was a wonderful way to express yourself and everything else, and I kept on going ever since. I don't play professionally, but I do still play the flute to this day. I played like 3 different types of flutes now. And
I didn't even know there were 3 different types of flutes.
Oh, there's actually hundreds of different types of flutes.
Really?
Yes, from all the way from India to the Native American flute and everything else.
Awesome.
So I've actually expanded my flute repertoire, if I would say. But that's for my own personal expression in my own personal time.
That is awesome.
So.
And she went from there to being a judge at some of our local auditions. We do auditions for Calaveras Has Talent for about 4 months all over Calaveras County. And she was a judge and a facilitator at different of those events.
Okay.
And then recently she's our talent coordinator at the finals.
Yeah.
So do all of the contestants, is it all about music? They each have some sort of musical performance?
No, not
that they
necessarily.
do? Okay.
At the next show, on the 20th, and who knows, maybe at the semifinal, we have some yo-yo artists.
Yeah.
How do you judge that?
Well, that with the skill, and that's the neat thing. The judging is a really interesting aspect. We have a criteria sheet, and there's a certain number of points for skill, whatever there is. We have dancers that have performed. A dancer won first place in youth category last year.
Awesome.
And so whatever the performing talent would be, they're judged on skill, on presentation, on stage presence, things like that nature.
Right. So who are your judges? Do you have someone who has a background in dance and someone
We
with a
have a
background in
variety
music?
of different judges. Each panel, we have 5 judges at each final.
Okay.
5 judges. And they come from different backgrounds.
Are they 5 different ones at each?
At each
performance,
each
each
final,
event.
yes.
Okay.
At every one. So it's just not possible to have the same 5 like you would see on one of the TV shows.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh, is it a huge commitment if someone is interested in helping you with this next year?
Absolutely.
What does it look like?
Oh,
that
yeah.
commitment?
We always have needs for volunteers in publicity, stage manager, grant writing, not to mention judges. We have some marvelous people that have stepped up, and we're always looking for more people who'd like to invest in children.
Right. Okay. And how do you find your judges? Have they been coming to you? Like, did you reach out to Sabrina, or did you hear that this was going on and you contacted
Actually,
Neil?
we ran into each other. I met Neil last year at the talent show, introduced myself. I didn't know if he remembered me. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, but you got to remember, he's been, had 5,000 students in the past years of his life." So, but then we saw each other about 6 months later, and that's when he asked me, "Hey, do you want to be a judge?
Perfect.
Come and help out and everything else," because he knew I was an alumni. He knew I had experience in music and everything else.
Yeah.
So, and then we just went on from there. And
That's perfect.
and it's a great opportunity to put some effort in my community because I just love this place.
Right. Well, I know just from doing this show, we have some of the most talented people that live in Calaveras County. Blows me away. People in my normal life, I'd have no idea that these people lived here. And so many of them do want to share, give back, and pass things on to the next generation.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
A lot of the judges that we found and other helpers came through our Facebook page, which is Calaveras Save Campaign on Facebook. And others have connected with us with our website, calaverasuyouth.org, cleverly enough. Calaveras Youth Organization, anyway.
Love it. Okay.
So we do that, and we're just so grateful to all the people that have sponsored, businesses that have sponsored us.
Right. I wanted to ask you about that. Is it too late if a business wants to sponsor to get into your program?
No.
We have a program design person, Cynthia Marshall, who's able to add pages as necessary.
Oh, nice.
And if anyone is interested in sponsoring, they can go to our website, calaverasuyouth.org, and click on the sponsor page, and it gives a link on how to sponsor.
Do you have an idea of how expensive it is? Can a small business
anywhere
afford
from
this?
$25 to $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, what can a person afford?
Right.
And for that, we have a fairly decent amount of actual publicity and advertising value. Programs for about 1,500 people, and publicity on our Facebook page, in our sponsor bar, and on the website as well in the sponsor page.
That's awesome. And these are good looking, nice size, and you can get a lot of information on there. And what's neat about these sorts of things, what I've noticed when my kids did things like this, is that the parents and the grandparents, everyone wants to keep them.
Exactly.
You don't just throw it away on your way out of the theater. People hold on to these. I think that's an awesome opportunity for these businesses.
For each event, the winners at each event, whether it's a quarterfinal, we have 2 quarterfinals, and 12 winners are selected from each quarterfinal. They receive a real nice certificate, suitable for framing, that kind of thing, and then they move to the semifinal. At the semifinal, they get a nice silver trophy to move on. And at the grand finale, we have nice trophies, first, second, third place. We have cash prizes. We have opportunities to perform, which the people tell me that's what they like the best. Better than trophies or cash. Performing opportunities. And then we have actually, for the highest winners, we have studio recording time.
You do?
So that they can record their art. Now, that doesn't do much if you're a yo-yo skill, and believe me, you can chuckle about yo-yos, but wait until you see these guys on the semifinal, if they make it that far, or the quarterfinal. They are amazing what they can do. Well,
that's really neat. That is really neat. And you mentioned the benefit of being able to perform live in front of people. You would know, I'm sure, how, oh my gosh, the nerves, and then knowing that you feel one way before you go out, and then you actually do it, and you finish it, and then that applause and that high that you get. I mean, you don't even know what that's like until you actually experience it.
The grand prize winners this year performed as the opening acts for Miss Calaveras at the fair.
Right.
Nice.
And that Sunday, all of those who made it to the grand final, they were allowed to do a concert, and they could do 15, 20 minutes of their thing at the concert at the fairground on Sunday. That was really great. They loved it.
Neat. I love how you guys are able to bring in so many people from so many areas of our community to help you with all of this. You're not just on your own trying to make it happen. You have some very influential people involved in this.
We're very grateful for them, each and every volunteer.
Well, is Cliff still involved?
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
When he came on and was telling me about this show, it was the first I'd heard of it. Last year was the first year?
Last year was the first year.
And he blew me away. Anyway, he's such a busy guy. He's so busy, but he is so involved in the community.
He actually was one of the 2 people that came up with the event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys have the neatest people on you. Do you have a board?
We do.
Yeah.
Who's on your board? How many people are on there?
3 on the board at this time. We're looking for more board members, especially from the Bret Hart area. I'm the president. Steve Baum is a vice president, and Shirley Hubbardy is the treasurer.
Okay. So, because I don't know how much time we have left, volunteers are needed, sponsors for the program are needed, performers next year.
For next year, yes, always.
Anything else that we can...
Well, let's see.
Do you guys ever need things like props or things like that?
Not really. We don't. Each performer brings their own materials and stuff, but what would really be helpful is if we could find someone who is especially gifted and experienced in grant writing.
Oh, yeah.
That would be marvelous.
Yeah. I think I do know some people. I can maybe give you some names later.
Excellent.
That would be good.
That is so important. Yes, it is. So who, so far, do you have favorite acts that stick out in your mind that you hope win, or can you not say?
Well, I'm not involved in the judging at all. So like I said, the judges, they have their scores, and there's 5 judges. Those scores are totaled and average. We add in an applause meter score, and it's the numbers that speak. But at the last show, some of the people that advanced include a gentleman who plays the accordion, and we have singers, a dancer.
Yes.
Did she moved onward?
Small-time ballet dancer.
So there was many fine things, and a piano player that would knock your socks off. Just marvelous. And that's just at the first quarterfinal. Who knows what's going to happen at Bret Hart on the 13th?
Right. Oh, my goodness. So the youth compete against the youth, and the adults compete against the adults.
Correct, yeah.
There's separate awards for the youth category at the end and the adult category.
What's the age for the youth?
Up to 18. 18 is adult.
Okay, 18 is adult. Oh, my goodness. So what would you like to see next year? Is there some sort of talent? Are there magicians or
we had a magician last year.
Animal trainers or
we had well, it has to be a performing art, but we had a magician last year. We had a rap star last year. Many different possibilities. We could use a bagpipe.
Really? Use a bagpipe.
Who knows?
He's shaking his head no.
That's a tough one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, if you were back in high school, is this something that you would participate in? Or not even high school.
The thing was, when I grew up in high school, I wasn't your normal, typical teenager. I had older parents.
Okay.
So I grew up with parents living in the 50s. So when everybody else was listening to The Cure and Duran Duran, I was listening to Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and everything else. So if I was back then, I would probably sing like Ella Fitzgerald. I mean, that would be my favorite thing to do. It's still my favorite thing to do. And it's probably one of the things I'm probably going to try one of these days and maybe sing at a lounge in Sacramento or something like that.
That would be so cool.
That would be so nice.
Also.
And I love that music. I follow that music. I follow a lot of, like, from John Williams to Joe McNeely down in Los Angeles. And now I'm following right now Seth MacFarlane right now, who sings just like Frank Sinatra, who was taught with the same instructors from Frank Sinatra. He's got 2 albums out now, and I just follow him, and he's just absolutely fantastic.
Right.
And I just love that he's bringing back that type of music again.
I do too. My daughter, she's 22, and she's always loved that music also. I thought she was some sort of old soul.
So maybe I'm hoping maybe one day I can be singing like that as well. I would love that.
Great.
That'd be great.
I would love that. Great. What would you say to a young person who is afraid to give it a shot, maybe has some sort of talent but has never performed in front of an audience before?
Don't be afraid. There's nothing you can't lose. There's nothing. Okay. Even when you get those 1,000 no's, you're still going to get that one yes, and it's going to be totally worth it. You know, I've gotten 1,000 no's all the time, but I've gotten that one yes, and it's totally worth it, and it just makes you completely happy.
One of our competitors at this last event posted on Facebook that she was so proud of herself that she did it. She got past her fear, and she performed, and she loved it.
Oh, that's so great.
So
so these adults, even though they're adults, they don't have a lot of experience or background in performing.
No, they could.
No.
Some
do.
Okay. Some have less.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have any professionals, do you? Or,
well, what is a professional? Someone who performs for money?
Yeah.
Well, sure you do.
You do. Okay.
Of course. Okay. You have someone who performs for money on the side or on the weekend.
Okay.
No one that I'm aware of that is a high-ranking professional.
Okay.
No.
But there's no limit then. There's a huge variety of talent.
Yes, indeed.
That is really neat.
No.
That is really neat.
I think one thing I would go back to say is the parents and adults, whatever aspect of life that you think it would be a benefit to your children or the children in the community, invest yourself in that. If you value music, become a member of the high school band boosters, or join Calaveras Youth Organization. Or if you think that agriculture or livestock is important, join 4-H or FFA, or get involved with your kids in soccer or football or baseball or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Get involved. Don't just sit back. I would challenge you, the parents.
That is so important. I love it. My husband he loves sports. He always coached our kids in their sports. And I think he got just as much out of it than the kids did. They loved having him there, and he has such great memories of it himself. It
You
was
can
a great
make
time of his life.
a difference in the life of children.
That's so true.
And that's such a wonderful gift to the future.
That is so true. That's so true. What about the parents who don't know or understand? I don't know anything really about music. In fact, I played drums in high school in the band, but back then it was a Catholic high school, and the music teacher actually had said to my parents that I could not play drums because girls didn't play drums, and he only taught the boys, and I stayed in it anyway. I just tried to learn from listening to what he was teaching them. It was very strange, but neither of my parents are musical at all, but it was almost like they didn't know how to direct me or to encourage my interest in it. And then I sort of had a teacher who shut it down. But when a kid comes to you and is not sure, they know they like music, but they don't know what they're good at yet. How does that work in school?
That's the job of a good teacher. A good teacher will say, well, here's some possibilities. Why don't you try this for a little bit?
Yeah.
Try it. And that's where parents can be involved. They don't have to be musical.
Right.
But they could say, well, I'll make a donation to the boosters, or I'll buy some equipment for the band, or I will cook hot dogs, or I'll chop firewood and they can auction it. You know, those there's whatever a person can do, you can
you'll
do
find
it
a way to,
so that it benefits children.
Yeah. That's interesting. So now I'm just curious, now that we brought that up, how are kids graded on their music in school? I'm thinking about you trying some different instruments. It sounds like you were good at each of them, but what if you tried something and it just wasn't your thing? Do you get a bad grade in that class, or?
I never got a bad grade anywhere, but no. I think it's the effort in trying.
Okay.
Trying something, and if it doesn't work, move on and try something else.
So the kids aren't risking anything
he was encouraging more to me to try something, and then if it doesn't work, try something else, or try something else. And I think that's what the lesson is just to keep trying until you find something that you love, find something that you can do, and everything else.
Right. Because it seems like when someone has that passion in them, you don't want to squash it.
It's a matter of encouraging and yet being realistic. You don't give everybody an A+. What's the value in that? But C means average. Nothing wrong with getting a C. If you try with your heart and you're stumbling and you can't remember the fingerings and you're not making the perfect sound that we all want to hear, you know, as you continue to grow, then maybe it's time to try something different. But as long as you're trying with a good heart and you're not being distracting, misbehaving, then it works. It can work well.
Well, I love what you guys are doing, because by giving the teachers what they need in their classrooms, maybe they see something in a student and some sort of instrument that they don't have or hadn't had yet, and you guys will be able to provide that by giving them what they need. I mean, who knows what someone is good at? When I was in school, everyone played that recorder. I think that's what it's called. Remember that little, I guess it's a little flute. Yeah. We all did the same thing, and it was all the only option we had. There was nothing else to play.
At that level, that's often true.
Yeah, and it was still to 8th grade. That's what we had there.
Oh, really?
Well, Catholic school that I went to. But yeah, I love that you guys are doing this and giving the teachers what they need, and in turn giving the kids what they need. That is so great.
That's our goal. That's our mission, to support and encourage music education for children in Calaveras County.
And the way you came up to raise this money is such a fun idea, and it fits perfectly, so much better than having another bake sale out in front of the grocery store or something. This is really, really neat. About how many people do you get in attendance at these shows?
Maximum of about 350.
Wow.
That's all that the
Yeah.
building will hold.
Okay.
We hope to pack it each time. If we pack the events coming up, then we probably will bring in about $7,000 to $10,000, and that's our goal. That's what we're shooting for. So if people would like to come, we encourage them to come and attend.
Right.
If we have a silent auction at the grand finale, bid heavy.
Yeah.
You know how
Ooh,
that goes.
Silent auction. You guys need more raffle gifts or silent auction gifts.
Yes.
True.
That's something
And
a lot
that'll
of us
be
can
for
donate.
September 24th.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to think of ways I can help help
thank
you
you,
guys.
thank
That'd be really great. I love that you guys are doing this. Once a year? You can do it
Once
again
a
next
year.
year?
Once a year, yeah.
Okay.
Plan to do it next year as well.
Yeah. It's got to be once a year. You guys put so many months into it.
Yeah.
That would be so neat. And next year you may need a new set of judges. You may need...
All the time.
Okay.
And any individuals who feel they are capable, qualified to be a judge, I know that the numbers for our organization have been up on the screen, or they can go to Calaveras Save and leave a Facebook message, or call the number on the screen, and we'll get that message. Or
Okay.
it's
Do you
all
guys,
good.
do you guys have maybe a PayPal link on your
We do.
website?
Yes, we do.
Oh, perfect. That makes it nice and
Yeah.
easy. You guys have thought of everything.
We have a
You did-
wonderful vice president, Steve Baum, who is just tremendously gifted. Another former band alumni, a marvelous brass player, baritone. He majored in music down at UOP, and he's just so savvy.
Oh,
Yeah.
neat. I wonder if we can get one of these guys at the studio here to film it also. And then you
That
guys-
would be marvelous.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be neat, because I'd love
Yeah.
to see, next year we can show little clips from this year on some of this talent. I want to see the yo-yo players. Yo-yo, because- well, that is, we're close to running out of time. Is there anything else that we need to mention that I didn't bring up? Your event is so important. I want to make sure that we get it all in there.
I think the big thing is come and attend.
Okay.
This will air at some point before at least September 24th. That will be at Bret Hart. August 20th will be at Calaveras Performing Arts Center on the Calaveras High School campus. And I don't know if the show will get out soon enough, but this Saturday, the 13th of August, will be at the Bret Hart Theater.
We will try. Are they all in the evening?
All in the
In the
evening.
evening,
Okay.
Thank you. 6
Perfect.
o'clock in the evening.
Perfect.
Come at 5. There's great food provided by the band boosters.
okay.
And Country Girl Ice Cream provides desserts. Marvelous.
Again, you guys thought of everything. Yeah.
We try real hard, but we're always open for new ideas.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh God, we'll see how we can help. Thank you both for being here. I love
Thank you.
love what you're doing, and I am so proud of all these people for putting themselves out there and supporting the music in your program. Thank you guys very much.
Thank
And
you
good
so
luck with
very much.
everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time on Tammy's Window on Calaveras.